Hello again, everybody. This is Wyscan, bringing you another commentary. This one's going to be on Stadium. I use pretty much exclusively the spaz, silent spaz on this one. Fairly good gameplay, but in addition to that, I wanted to put my thoughts out there about the Elite service, Call of Duty Elite, whatever they're calling it, that they're in beta right now, and basically give my opinion on a couple things that I think they could have done better, and maybe one or two things that they actually did correctly. So the first thing is that Activision is a company over Treyarch and Infinity Ward. And I think that they severely underestimate the hate component of the love-hate relationship they have with Call of Duty players. We, as Call of Duty players, typically think that Activision is the evil overlord and the Treyarch and Infinity Ward are their evil puppets. And we don't generally trust them. We think that they're going to milk us out of as much money as they possibly can. We think that they're going to release unsupported games, not patch all of the bugs, as you saw with Modern Warfare 2. I guess Modern Warfare and probably World at War in general. Black Ops has been a different story, but I don't know if that's going to continue. I certainly hope that it does, but there's definitely an inherent mistrust that Call of Duty players have to both the development companies and to Activision, which is over both of those. That being said, that they should not have launched the pay service, or they shouldn't have announced the pay service initially. I think that they should have had the free offering and the pay offering, but they should have developed and or released the pay offering later. They should have released the free offering first, just said, hey, these are additional tools that we're going to give you for free, online tools to manage, your friends, your classes, whatever it may be. The ability to actually change things that affect you in the game from outside the game. So, like your class loadout, maybe have an emblem designer, whatever it winds up being, whatever they have in there for their free services. Just release that. Maybe you don't have to spend the time developing what is going to be a pay service later, and you may be able to release it sooner. So you get the free offering in beta as quickly as possible, you get it out of beta as quickly as possible, and then by the time Modern Warfare 3 rolls around, you're ready to actually release a real pay service. And when you release it as a pay service, you have to make it as high value as you possibly can. Like the free map packs, you got to start off, maybe there are maps that you can't get unless you're a subscriber. Subscriber only map packs. Whatever. It has to be high value, but you lead in with the free offering. You build up the trust. You get defenders in there so that when it is released as a pay service, all the people that are naysayers and saying like, well, they're going to charge subscriptions for Call of Duty, like they did, like people thought they were going to. You have defenders that say like, no, there's the free part. There's actually the free part. I have it in my hot little hands. I can use it. I trust that they're going to do okay with the pay thing. Maybe it doesn't go as well as that, but I don't think it could go much worse than the way that it actually did when they announced the pay services for Elite. Everybody assumed the absolute worst. And by not having a product in front of people at that point, all we had was their word to say, well, no, there's going to be a lot of free stuff. It wasn't good enough, though. People are able to spread their fear, uncertainty, and doubt, what people call FUD, saying that Activision is, they're screwing us some more. They're going to get more of our money. And Activision gave them that opportunity by releasing it the way that they did. The other thing I think that they handled poorly was they have two good community leaders in JD 2020 and Robert Boland. These are guys who have built up relationships. Some people hate them, but still, overall, they've been very present community leaders. That's the way you get information about the patches. They're not afraid to leak information. I don't know if it's technically leaking it if they're allowed to, but they leak information or tell us about the double XP weekends or whatever it winds up being. They took that goodwill that these two community managers built up independently, and they squandered it by making them PR mouthpieces, salespeople, saying like, hey, this is the company line. This is a good thing. Go out there and act like you like it, or you're fired, maybe. And I got the sense, and I think other people did too, that these two community leaders weren't comfortable with having to spread as much PR or do as much sales or damage recovery that they were having to do in that situation. And as such, they're having to build back up their reputation. Same thing with Activision, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward. They're having to build it back up when, if they'd done it correctly, they never should have had it torn down in the first place. I think, again, releasing the free service first, not even mentioning the pay service, would be the way to go. The same thing happened to the representatives of Time Warner on Twitter. They have a lot of support people on Twitter, and they'd built up an okay reputation. They didn't have a great reputation because, again, Time Warner is another one of those companies that people really don't like. But some people actually had good experiences with the support people. So when they decided that you were going to pay for the bandwidth you used, you weren't going to have an all-you-can-eat plan. You had to pay for everything that you used. And we're going to punish the people who are, not punish. We're going to make people who are downloading, torrents all over the place pay for the bandwidth they're using. So at night when your connection is really slow, they're to blame. Well, now there's going to be a monetary penalty for that. They're going to have to pay. The problem is that nobody trusted that. They're going to raise the price on the casual user as well. This is just a scheme for them to get more money and chase off the users that use a lot of bandwidth. So what they want is low bandwidth usage, high paying customers. We hate you, we hate you. And eventually they did back off. They're still going to try and sneak it through at some point, but for the time being they backed off. But in the process what they did is they squandered whatever goodwill, good feelings they had with their online support community, with any of their sales representatives, anything that they had done to repair their horrible reputation, they blew in about a week and a half, I think it was. And I think Treyarch, Activision, Infinity Ward did the same thing with those two community leaders. I think they alienated a lot of people. And they are recovering now, but you shouldn't have to recover in that manner. The next thing I think that they did that is possibly a little bit wrong is they were talking about their groups where you can find people of similar interests that are playing Call of Duty. Like I can make I think the example was, I like Ghostbusters group, play Call of Duty with me. It seems silly, in my opinion, but the bigger amount of silliness to that than this notion that you're going to find somebody who likes chocolate ice cream and want to play Call of Duty with them all night is the fact that somebody's already built this, so why would you build it again? Call of Duty Elite is a limited subset of that audience. So you already have Facebook, Twitter, now Google+, MySpace, I guess, if anybody still uses that thing. Whatever the case may be. You don't make your money building a social network. You're never going to build one as big as Facebook or Twitter. Just the fact of the matter that there aren't as many Call of Duty players as there are, bored grandparents playing Farmville or whatever it is. So you might as well ride on the coattails. I already have all my stuff in Facebook or Google+. Let me put that stuff in there, or let me find Call of Duty players that way. Write a Facebook application or a Google+ extension or whatever it winds up being. Don't build your own network. Don't build your own way of hooking up with people. Piggyback on top of that. Build an application that works with Facebook and leverages that. So maybe I can see in my existing friends who plays Call of Duty I didn't even know played Call of Duty. I can use this little suggest a friend that's already built in there, like, hey, maybe you know this person, this is a friend of a friend of a friend that plays Call of Duty. They've already got everything in there, and those are people that may or may not use Elite. And even if they do, Infinity Ward does not make their money trying to create a Facebook replacement. So just ride on top of Facebook. That's all you actually need to do. It's this whole network effect that people talk about. It's if you own a telephone, it's not great for you to be the only person in the world that owns a telephone. Somebody else has to have a telephone for you to talk with. So these creations aren't valuable until you get a certain number of people. So if it's 20 of us sitting around talking about how much we like cookies and Call of Duty, it doesn't do you much good. I need the 8 million people in Facebook, to say I like Call of Duty too, and I think you're swell, Wyscan, which they should say, really, because quite frankly, I am swell. Anyway, those are my thoughts. That's a win, 200 to 114. Anyway, that's my time. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Have a good one.